Tired of living broke, so before I sleep I pray.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome back to season 2 of Crab Legs and Kool-Aid. It's me, Titus, ERLY, Makin, baby. And you know what, y'all? I'm excited to be back. The guest that's sitting with me right now, she was just asking me if I was nervous. And I am, y'all. I'm nervous because I'm excited. You feel me? Like, I'm so grateful for the way season 1 was received. And I'm like, I don't know. It was a long journey to come back. I didn't know if I could. Had to build funds back up. Had to do all types of stuff. But we here, and that's thanks to y'all, because there was a lot of moments last season that went on a little viral journey. And due to that journey, it was only appropriate that the guest for season 2, episode 1, and I don't know when this is going to air like month-wise, but I'm going to go ahead and say this because it's written in history right now at this point that our first guest is the OG, is the first one to pave the way, is the original, is the now, is the future young Aunt Viv on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Do y'all know Bel-Air? This woman is officially young Aunt Viv. We ain't never had a young Aunt Viv before. She's sitting with me right now, and she was the lady that got me going and started off the season 1, and now she's back to start off season 2. Please welcome Lauren Lott. Yay! Welcome.
I joined Dark Skin Aunt Viv Club.
Okay.
I think that there was another young Aunt Viv, but she might have been for the lighter Aunt Viv.
Where? On the original Fresh Prince?
On the original Fresh Prince.
There was a young Aunt Viv
For
sequence?
one episode.
Actually, I'll trust you because I'm
There
sure
was
you've
one
done research.
episode, but I don't remember if she was young dark. I think she
Okay.
was young light skin Aunt Viv. So I'm young dark skin Aunt Viv.
Right. So she's the OG young dark skin Aunt Viv, and that's a big moment. Like, before we get into anything, because we've been friends for a really long time. If y'all didn't see us season 1, I've known this young lady. I think he was coming out of high school.
I was.
He was coming out of high school. And
Ew.
we never talk about the story on camera, so we just gonna leave it all camera. But we met through a mutual friend. And that actually sounds really bad. No, like, it wasn't no age weird inappropriateness. It's just funny that we've known each other for that long. But yeah. And to this day, we just been hustling, plowing through the industry, and she's been killing it. I've been killing it in my own right. So we all happy, we all blessed. We're doing well. How are you?
I'm so good.
Yes. I'm assuming you're booked and busy as per usual, correct?
Oh my goodness, yes. And
Yeah.
I'm very grateful.
How's God been showing up for you?
Oh my gosh. You know what? I think the best part about God
Yeah.
is that even when things don't work out, I have so many receipts for when times did that when it doesn't work out, I can rely on the faith, because you can't see it. You can't, that's what faith is.
Yeah.
You are just trusting in something that you do not see.
Man.
But the way that having my faith has never let me down, because I have all those receipts, and then God keeps showing up over and over. I keep, every time something great happens that you cannot explain, where it's like, dang, the timing of this worked out perfectly. I prayed for this part and I got it, whatever. I store that and remember the prayers and the things, and I keep those receipts. And right now, I just got to say, I'm grateful for my faith, and I'm grateful for God now. He shows up, and all the reminders that I have of just, I have a lot of receipts.
And
I
the
got a lot of
protection.
receipts.
People don't often talk about the protection of not getting something that you prayed for, that you thought you wanted.
That's a receipt as well. That is a receipt as well. I have prayed and cried for roles that I thought were in the plan for me. And then I realized, dang, if that had worked out, I would not have been able to do this.
Come on. Wait, side note, you want to know something
Tell me.
that I'm thinking about right now that's funny is, so on the video that went viral last season of us.
Fun fact, last season, we had a video that we clipped a bunch of things. This was his first season, by the way. Thought nothing of it. I was doing something for a friend. I'll always show up and support my friends. And that video went so viral.
Man.
Y'all. It was me saying, a man will always choose himself. And even if he chooses you, it's because he already chose himself. You just got the benefit of that. And I had a whole thing that I talked about it, which I still believe to this day.
And it's not that she's wrong. It was just she had her view, and she locked it in. Yeah.
And it just went so viral. But I did talk about other things as well. All of that went viral.
All of it.
I could not believe it. I was like, let me talk more, because I guess it relates.
But we did speak about that. It honestly was a nice, because you're a confident woman. I feel like you're comfortable owning yourself and your views and your goals. But I think there's something to be said about the world seeing you do that, because I feel like you would do that. I mean, don't let me speak for you. Obviously, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you would do that in your personal life with your friends. And
Absolutely, all the time.
Doing it on a stage, a platform in front of a camera, I think people are hungry for that. They'd be like, yeah,
so too.
Speak your mind, ma'am. Yeah.
And also, I think also in like a non like toxic way, like in none of that, I tried to make it clear because I don't hate men.
Right.
So even I was just stating something that I believe.
Which is good to hear, because I think a lot of people took something, not a lot. Some people decided to take that as a man bashing.
Yeah, I don't never do that. I'm never going to bash men because I love men and I root for relationships.
Yeah.
And I love women and I root for us, like as humanity.
The one thing I learned about myself that I saw commented a lot that I'm trying to be cautious of right now is that apparently I interject a lot with sounds. So as you were talking, I'm going like, ooh.
I didn't mind that.
And people were like, stop making so many sounds.
Some people don't like the sound of like chewing and stuff like that. You know, like some people like people can be sticklers about anything. Some people can get irritated with anything. But I have to say, as somebody who was sitting there talking to you, I felt like I could freely talk. It never bothered me. But also, you're right in a microphone, so maybe they're getting it a lot more than what I was. Because it was like it was like you were just responding to what I was saying, just doing like, but it's not loud. But also, you're in a microphone.
Right. So you know what?
We're at even levels to them.
Right. Okay. So the last thing I'm going to ask you about our last season moment, was there anything that you said, you kind of already touched on this, but that you would like to retract or clear up or double down on?
Oh my gosh. I wish we could play the clip.
No shame. I know. Honestly, maybe we can. Okay, here it is. Ready?
Oh gosh. Okay.
A man will always be willing to hurt your feelings. He will always be willing to choose himself. Every man is going to choose himself. If you don't like the way you're being treated, leave. He's going to put himself first. Put yourself first. Men will always choose themselves. It's so true. If a man is being good to you, and if he's caring for you, he still chose himself first. You're just getting the benefit of that.
And you know what? People actually went and watched and got more of that and then clipped it and stuff. Okay.
They absolutely do.
Do I want to take back anything? No.
Or double it, or own it, whatever.
I stand 10 toes down on believing that a man will always choose himself. But I do have to say that as women, we need to show up choosing ourselves too.
Ooh.
Which
that's
is
a new piece.
Yeah. And by choosing yourselves, I don't mean being selfish. I don't mean being arrogant. I mean loving yourself more and before you love a man. Because that is what a lot of men are doing. The world teaches men to love themselves, and the world teaches us as women to love men. You know? So I will say, just as men love themselves, that is not necessarily a bad thing. I think I kind of touched on it a little where I said, choose yourself. Like, and if you don't like it, leave. You know, I said all of that, but it really is true. And a lot of men will not put up with half. I think you see that in relationships all the time, where it's like a woman will put up with so much, and you know, the man, if he was in the opposite position, he would never put up with half of what she puts up with. And it's like, he loves him, so he chooses himself, he loves himself. And as women, I think a lot of times we need to do that as well, because we are worthy, and 100%. We don't have to. You really don't have to settle, because I realized, even talking to a lot of my male friends, a lot of men, like, even when they're relationships where they're fighting all the time and all that, a lot of men are not settling. No. Like, even like when women are drained and they hate this and they hate that, and like they might be settling. A man, he's just usually just usually not.
Let me interject as a man. I'm 100% in agreement, because I'm like, I'm not settling. Like, if I'm seeing some energy that's moving weird, I'm like, oh, we got to go.
Yeah.
Like, why stick around for that? Like,
I'm telling you, even when it seems like he's complaining all the time and he's this and he's that, if he's staying, he still is choosing what he wants.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and as women, I just think that a lot of times we don't do that. And this is me, myself as well. Like, a lot of times I will be uncomfortable. I'll be this. And then I just started realizing that, like, my opposite is not going to do that. Like, he's not as uncomfortable as I am, even though it might seem like we're in the same we're in the same spot. So I will say, just like how men choose themselves, I think that as women, we need to choose themselves. And that looks like boundaries. That looks like self-care. Boundaries are so important. And I realized that at the beginning of a relationship, when the talk of, I have, my boundaries are so strong, but once I love you, I realize that even myself, I can end up loving a man more than I love myself and more than I love my boundaries and the rules that I have to keep myself safe.
Okay,
which is what boundaries are.
I have a question.
They're not
And
the
we were
rules.
going to get
They're
into
not-
relationship stuff more a little bit later, but just while we're here, something I struggle with, this is a genuine question, is how much do I bend for the sake of grace and growth within that boundary space? It's like, okay, my boundaries are, let's make up one. I don't tolerate you cheating at all. That's like the obvious go-to, is like, at all. Great. Like, that's my boundary. You did it once, I'm out. So how much do I bend for the sake of grace and people learning and growing?
Well, I think that one thing I think a lot of us are learning is I don't tolerate cheating. I think that's more of a rule. I think that your boundary is I don't tolerate cheating as the rule, and if you do cheat, I'm leaving.
Okay.
That's the boundary, is what are you going to do if somebody does this?
Okay.
So it's like, I don't like that, and this is what I'm going to do in response of that.
And maybe
That's
that was
the boundary.
And maybe that was a too much of an intense one, because I'm like, I guess when it comes to some smaller stuff, like people are sometimes, I'm big on grace, right? Where it's like, okay, we have to learn each other. Like, I'm walking into another person. I've been solo or single for X amount of years. And so I'm accustomed to my way of living. So now that you're in my life, I have to adjust. I would feel like even some slight boundaries, but maybe that's not healthy. Maybe because
I've been in that same spot. Like, I get you, but I'm realizing that you actually should never compromise your boundaries. Sometimes I think you can look at some of your rules, because if you have too many rules, then you might need to work on yourself.
Okay. And maybe that's where I'm coming from, where it's like.
Or sometimes what I've realized is a lot of people think they have boundaries, but they actually have expectations.
Ooh.
So this is not your boundary. This is not if you do this, it's actually you expected something from me. And a lot of those boundaries are also unspoken expectations, which how does your partner now have a chance to do anything if these are unspoken?
So I think you nailed it. That's what it is. Because I think sometimes I'll have expectations that I have to get used to ridding myself of. And it's not boundaries.
Or communicating, but it's not your boundary. Because sometimes with our expectations, if it doesn't happen, or if someone doesn't abide by this expectation, we feel disrespected, or we feel like, oh, how could you not get it? When in reality, it's like, that wasn't your boundary, and it wasn't even your rule. That's your expectation. But it feels the same to you, which is then where you need to go and look inside and be like, what do I need to communicate? Or can I look past this expectation because it's not actually that deep, and I can give grace here?
So,
and this is a journey that this is a journey that I am on as well, of trying to identify, like, what are my rules and what are my actual boundaries? Like, and my boundaries are like, these are to keep me safe, but also to keep you safe, so that you know how to love me, so that we're not having this unnecessary conflict or tension because I was honest and you were honest. But then also, what is my expectation? What are my unspoken expectations that still lead to tension? Because I expected this, and then it didn't happen. Now I'm mad at you, and that's not fair.
So that's great. But the reality is, I feel like people aren't that emotionally intelligent to be able to know all that. Like, I wish that we could take that brain and those words, and not just for women, but also for men, to be like, can we all compute this so we can get on the same accord? Because the reality is, you don't know why you mad at me, but really it's because of blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I just wish people would take the time to learn that. But
I think we're all still learning.
That's true.
Like, I would say that this stuff, like, just realizing, like, truly the importance of boundaries and how safe they make your relationship, not just for you, but for your partner.
Yeah.
I just learned that this year. That is so important. So I think even as I'm learning it, I'm so happy talking about it and encouraging other people, so we all can kind of start getting on the same page.
So let's dumb it back a little bit. I have 3 things I want to ask you about. And this is just for fun. So, 1, who is the anonymous singer in your videos? So they're talking about relationships, because there happens to be a gentleman, for all of y'all out there who are wanting to know if she's single or taken. We've seen her videos, and if not, go watch her Instagram and TikToks. And there is a gentleman who sings that I've been attached to. People have said, oh, I've been asked in these videos. They'll send me videos like, is that you singing in the background?
Oh my gosh.
It's not me. I'm letting you know it's not me. So who is it? Lauren?
Oh my goodness.
If you feel comfortable responding, if not.
That's so funny. He is a secret, but I will say that, am I available right now? I will say no, because I'm working on my boundaries. and my needs.
Okay, you know what? No, I'm not receiving that because she just gave us that vanilla ass answer. And you know when people, that means she talking to a few people and
No.
it ain't really landing
Actually,
yet.
okay, fine. We'll be honest. Okay. You see, it don't take much for me. I came with like, I'm not gonna talk about this.
You pull my leg. Okay, I got
Fine. No, that right now I'm not dating because I realize that I don't know my boundaries enough to protect a relationship.
That's fair. Are people trying to pursue you? I guess regularly.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's not no arrogance. No arrogance, just a facts of fact.
Yeah, for
You're
sure.
a beautiful woman. I'm sure you're getting slid DMs.
But you know, I just had to realize that right now, even with people being very nice to me or like being very open, am I storing it? Yes. And being like, okay, so when I'm ready, I'm gonna maybe go here. But right now, because I know what I want now, like I want a relationship that is so healthy and loving and like where there's grace, where we don't like escalate our problems, or where even when we are upset, we can talk like this. Because I know that is like what I want. I'm willing to wait for that, but also do my part, which is having boundaries, having the self-respect and having this so that I'm loving myself so that I have an abundance of love to give you. And I'm not loving you out of a depletion.
Come on.
But I'm loving you at the highest version of myself.
Man.
So I need, and I hope it doesn't take long. By long, I mean like I'm hoping it's a 2-month journey, but I'm trusting God and how long He decides that this is. Yeah, because I can look back and see some great relationships and realize.
And I think that's a beautiful thing to say out loud, but also abide by in your life is trusting God's timing. Something we hear about all the time. It's something that if you're a viewer of mine or of Lauren's, that you know that we're God-fearing folks. So it's like that is huge. That's career, that's relationships, that's everything.
The lifestyle.
But we also, I feel like people watch our pages and don't get to see how much trust is going in, because we get to post all the successes every time you're on a carpet, every time so they're like, well, it's easy to say trust God's timing because you're constantly working, everything's great. But it's like we also don't see, this is just a perspective moment. You guys, and I know this because we're both actors, we're both singers, we're both entertainers, you don't see how many no's that she's getting, right? You don't see how many times that she's wanted to go to an event or wanted to go do something and they said no. Or she's been up for a film and they've said no, or all those things. So when we say trust God's timing, it's like it's happening to her, even though it looks glitzy and glamorous, but it's happening full picture. That was just a perspective moment, just in case people are like, it's easy for y'all to say in Hollywood and y'all look beautiful and doing cool stuff. It's still happening heavily. So stepping out real quick, I just wanted to know, this is outside of the relationship world. I was thinking this when I was driving. I was like, who inspired you to, whether that be just in life, whether that be career-wise, if it's a family to a celebrity, like who or what inspired you to be what I'm looking at right now, the whole entity?
Okay, 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually really crazy, but because it's quite a far range. But Michael Jackson.
Come on.
Because and this isn't just about the music. This isn't just about the things, but like Michael Jackson. Now I didn't know that he was writing down his like what he wanted for himself and like, you know, kind of writing down his prayers of what he wanted for his future. I didn't know he was doing that because I do that, and I have felt just the abundance for sure from writing down a prayer as if it, and thanking God in advance as if it already happened.
Yeah.
And then just letting him do what he does. Yeah. But really in his interviews, I was getting closer to God from watching him talk about his trust in God. And here's somebody who's larger than life, but watching him say like, oh yeah, my songs, I get them from God. And like every single thing I loved about him, he gave the source, and the source was God.
And let's not bypass that either, because if you watch, I've noticed this, I'm sure you've probably noticed this, but just to bring it to y'all's attention, if you watch the majority of interviews from every pop star to global superstar, whether that's entertainment or whatever, the majority of people back in the day are always citing God.
Absolutely.
Like, even if you go look at Britney Spears' old stuff, she's like, yeah, I'm just, just out here loving God. I can't wait to go to church on Sunday. And like, I just released this album. Like, it's always rooted in Christ. And
there was a humanity to all of them as well. Like, for Michael Jackson to feel so human, but be Michael Jackson, but for him to just constantly be talking about grace and kindness and love and giving and God.
And that's not a common denominator that should be lost upon anybody. I'm like, if that's at the root of all of that, then clearly there's something to people being rooted in God.
I completely agree. So definitely Michael Jackson as one source, because I wanted, no matter what I'm doing, I want you to know that the light inside me, the joy inside me, everything is from God and is from my relationship with Jesus Christ.
Come on.
So there's that. And then somebody who really inspired me, and he's just all around a great entertainer. Another person who inspired me on the influencer side was a girl named Jackie O. And she was like an OG influencer, and she's actually the baby mama of DC Young Fly.
I love DC Young Fly.
You love him.
Wait, did she?
Yeah, she passed.
Oh, I do.
And we never got to meet in person, but I've been following her for years, and she was one of the first people who I just really felt a strong, like, influencer-wise connect. We didn't have influencers back then, you know?
Right.
But, like, she was somebody who I was following her journey, and she made the journey fun to watch. And we didn't have, this was all new, but I was like, I want to do that. I want to be fun to watch. I want to be like, you know, whatever. So I started, like, she was on Snapchat, so I was on Snapchat. Like, she was doing things, and she was really pretty, which is another thing. She was like really human and like cutesy, but she was really pretty. And I was like, I want that.
Yeah.
Like, I want to feel human and still be like a baddie, but like not feel like boring. Because I was in Atlanta, and a lot of baddies were boring. And I was like, I don't want to be a boring baddie.
Speak to him.
They were so boring.
I didn't say it.
And these girls would be so bad. And I was doing music videos and stuff at the time, like nothing crazy, but like back then they would need actresses.
You was throwing it in the circle?
You know?
No, I was kidding.
No.
Lauren, go find a video of Lauren.
But you know, back then they needed actresses for videos.
BET.
Uncut.
With Tip Drill, with Nelly. That was Lauren. No, I was kidding.
That was a fun era of life.
We were too young to.
I know, I wasn't allowed to watch Uncut. I had to turn that off.
I used to sneak and watch it. I'm not going to lie.
Of course you did. Me too.
Yeah. Wait, she be switching up so quick. I wasn't allowed to. I watched it. Y'all, I love it. It don't take much. She was like, okay, I lied.
Yeah, no.
I wanted to comment on what you were saying about being able to have a lot of personality and be attractive, and like that. I'm making her sound pretentious. That's not how she said it, but just jogging your memory to what she said. But how cool is it that we're in a era now where you can be all those things? Because back in the day, the celebrity, like, you were supposed to be quiet. Like, I'm not supposed to know anything about you, and that's the allure, the mystery.
That was the thing.
Like, I don't want to know anything. But how cool is it now that you can be your full self? And that goes across to interviews. Like, I mean, I'm gonna state Cardi B because she was one of the first people that I saw doing it heavily, but there's tons more before her. But Cardi B was somebody I was like, oh, she in these interviews being full ratchet self. Man, and still selling records and still able to go be super elegant on a red carpet.
Yeah.
And still, like, it's so cool that you can be multifaceted now.
Oh my gosh, and now that realness is like acceptable and like likable, because for sure there weren't a lot of, when I started putting my weird self on the internet, I had family like, Lauren, you were too pretty to act like this. And they were, especially the older generation.
I love that that's going on.
The older generation let me know all the time that, like, they were like, because you look a certain way, you should act a certain way. And that certain way didn't have to do with like being classy. It had to do with like the level of fun and goofiness that you have. So, and I was always this way. I've always been like fun and goofy. I feel like I'm very poised today. You know, I'm sitting in this chair, you know, like my back is straight.
But no, but that's
because I don't want to, because
this is another side of you.
But
it's beautiful because it's another side of you. We can see that you're well-spoken, that you have all these colors, but then we can also see that you crawling on the floor on TikTok. Like, that's awesome. You feel me? Like, imagine only seeing this side of you and nobody knowing that you're funny.
You know what? I really started putting my, fun facts.
Yeah.
I really started putting myself out there more and being confident in it because I realized, and I switched up my social media like a few times because I was attracting men that I didn't want to attract. I was attracting men with more of a lustful eye. So I started realizing the quieter that I was, the more that I didn't have that much of an opinion, the more I was trying to go the pretty girl route on social media, I was attracting men who were a little more lustful.
Interesting.
And weren't looking for one with a personality for sure. And then I'm sitting here meeting men who are looking for not me.
Right.
And then I would go and have all this personality. I'd be goofy. They would honestly, because I hate to say this, but they would kind of like tear me down.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
I mean, hey.
And it would really hurt my feelings. And I was like, I don't like this. I don't like attracting this type of man. So like, there's a type of man who likes a girl who has a personality and who's fun and who's like, you know, whatever. So I'm like, let me put out there that I'm more of that, so that it's not a surprise. Because I wanted that to be. I was like, I want you when you meet me in person, especially because as my followers were growing. I was like, when you meet me in person, I don't want it to be a surprise.
That's actually fair, because I think I have that issue, but flipped. So I put so much of my goofiness out there that sometimes when you sit with me, people think I'm a little bit more lame. You know what I'm saying? Like they were expecting
you to be the life of the party all the time.
And I'm like, so I kind of struggle with that on the flip side, where it's like, if we just go to eat or get coffee, like I'm typically not trying to crack a joke or be the loudest person in the room. That's kind of my default. Like if we are in that space, but my actual self is really chill. So it's been interesting. I've been battling the flip, but
that was definitely a challenge.
Yeah,
it's definitely they're trying to find the like, I'm multifaceted.
Right.
He's multifaceted.
Man, that's that was a hard word to say. Multifaceted. I'm the multifaceted. Okay, so question for you. So I saw this question on another podcast, which I won't say which, or maybe I should, to give them. I'm gonna give it to you. It was on Khloe Kardashian's podcast. Yeah, it was a great question. What's your Roman Empire? So I didn't know what this term meant, and I'll explain it to you. Do you already know what I'm saying?
Like your origin of like your.
So that's what I thought. But I guess apparently another explanation or whatever for Roman Empire is something that you just think about way too much on a daily basis that consumes you. So somebody's Roman Empire.
Like they were bullied when they were whatever and now.
Whatever. Or it can be as simple as like, for me, I'll say what mine is, and I've never said this. I've never said this out loud, but my Roman...
Tell us.
My Roman Empire, this is going to be so weird and so basic, is vomiting, y'all. And let me tell you what I mean. I have a immense fear of vomiting.
No. So what was the moment? Because that came from something.
Okay.
That's your Roman Empire.
That's why you asked me Roman Empire, because it's rooted.
Yeah, there was a moment.
Rooted in something. And I know exactly what it was. I'll tell you real quick. Literally, we were kids. I was in kindergarten, and they made us hold hands. And this is the only memory I have from that era of my life, from those years. They made us hold hands in a line where we're in twos. We're walking to the bus and we're holding hands, and the teacher was in front of us going up into the bus, stepping up into the bus. And she was eating like a big sweet tart thing. Like they did have the big size sweet tarts back in the day. And she had one in her mouth and she choked on it. And all I remember from this age is her turning around and running and breaking through us in the line, because she was choking and she was vomiting because she was like choking, and she was vomiting and running through the line. And I remember telling myself as a little kid, I was like, I'll never vomit. That was the most scarring thing I've ever witnessed in my life. And to this day, y'all, I daily will look at some food and I'll be like, oh, that look a little pink. Nah, I'm not going to eat that. It might make me vomit. Or like somebody sick next to me. Yeah, they were throwing up. Nah, fam, you can stay all the way at home. Like I would do anything to try to avoid vomiting. This is a real Roman Empire for me. Anything you want to say to that? Is that funny or? That was
She's fighting for her life. And you said, ew.
I said, throw her to the wolves. She is vomiting. Let her die. Let her die. Because what does that got to do with me? You vomiting is repulsive. There's been times, y'all.
What are you going to do when your wife has morning sickness? You've already thought about it.
I've already thought about my kids. What are they going to do when they're throwing up? Like, I'm talking about adult throw up. Not like spit up from a little kid. Like, I don't mind.
Wait, so you've never thrown up?
No, I have, but I haven't. It takes many years of gaps before I do. Like, I will fight it, y'all. I will be nauseous, pacing back and forth outside, holding it. It'll be right here, and I'm like, nah. And they'll be like, just throw up, you'll feel better. I'm like, nah, I'll feel better when this goes away tomorrow. Anyway, do you have anything similar? Lauren, ain't nobody stunning you. I was being true. Just, you don't get it a little bit. You get it. Throwing up sucks. Everybody understands vomiting sucks.
Loser? No, I'm kidding.
She's supposed to be supportive. Y'all.
No,
This is the last time I'm telling y'all a secret.
It's the thought of her, like, literally fighting for her life, and you aren't scared that she's going to die, nothing. You said, oh.
Don't let it happen as an adult. As a full-grown 36-year-old man, if somebody throws
you
up...
look 12, first of all.
Thank you. I appreciate that. If somebody is actual dire need, like anytime my friends have been super hungover or something, they're throwing up, I'll help to a certain extent. Like, I'm not gonna let you die. I'm gonna call the cops. I'm gonna make sure you get. I'm gonna call the ambulance. I'm gonna make sure you get in the ambulance. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna try to get you somewhere safe. But you know how people be sitting there holding their friend's hair. They're throwing up. Nah, it couldn't be me.
Oh.
It couldn't be me. If you big and bad enough to drink that much, you big and bad enough to hover your behind over the toilet, why I gotta be standing there smelling it? What? Hell nah.
Okay, sorry. Funny story.
I thought he was gonna piss me off. It has to do with throw up.
Okay, so I was having breakfast with this guy. We were having breakfast at his house. And it was a nice little, like, we had cooked breakfast together. It was steak and eggs. And it was like so cute.
I'm just imagining that coming back.
And we were having this like cute little breakfast, and he was eating it too fast. The steak was fire. And he said, I just feel like there's something in my chest. He sits there. We can't finish the story.
No, I got to hear the payoff now. They have to hear it, but.
Oh, no, he sat there and on his plate while we're sitting there eating our eggs and steak. And then he runs over. He's throwing up as he gets to the trash can. And then he makes it to the sink because the smell of it in the trash can was making him nauseous. And then he goes to the sink and finishes it, which is a great place to throw up because where the garbage disposal is. And because I knew how nauseous he was getting from even just the smell of himself, I cleaned up his throw up so that
W girlfriend or date, what was it?
I was his girlfriend.
W girlfriend.
Oh, we broke up like 2 days later.
See, I told
maybe
you.
a week later.
I told you, Mom, you couldn't handle it. You were like, what was that?
No, you know what was crazy is you would think that would be enough, but you know.
It was on him. Like after all that, you couldn't get it together. I'm like, you don't clean up my throat. I owe you my life.
No, I mean, it was a very mutual breakup. Like I planted, like I suggested it, and then he like grew it. Like all of the, fine. It was fine. Okay, and I got my Roman empire.
Yeah.
I was in a viral relationship at one point, and I was making content with a boo. I was making content.
Like he was a content creator as well.
Yeah, we were making content together. This is something I think about often.
Okay.
And this was before we had influencers. This is before you can make money. I saw a couple go to the BET Awards back when the BET Awards was everything.
Yeah.
We used to have BET Awards watch parties back in the day. Y'all.
That's true. I did too.
This was a thing.
Yeah.
And I saw a couple from the internet who I'd been following on the internet. They got invited to the BET Awards. And I said, I think there's something to this being on the internet thing.
Okay.
Like, I'm like, right now I'm only getting sent free wigs. But I think at one point there might be money involved in this. I wanted him to be so in it with me. I wanted him to like love it with me. And he started fighting me every step of the way and made it really hard to make content. But the reality is he was starting to feel like, being on the internet can make you insecure. It can do like, whatever.
Wait, pause. So you telling this is something that you think about daily?
Yes. So
you laughing at me?
So, yep. Yeah, no, I judged you. So this is something that like, yes. So he didn't want to, and then one day, it was like literally one day I realized we can't make content together. And this is how I connect with you. This is like my favorite thing. This is how I connect with you. And because of that, I had to pivot my whole brand because he was my entire brand, was being his girlfriend, building all of this and stuff. And I decided then I will never attach myself ever again publicly to anybody who does not have my dream and who won't dream with me in this way, or who, if I sense that you will, mind you, this wasn't him. This was like he just didn't want to do it. But for me, that was everything. But I added on to that of like, if I can tell that you're going to be too bossy, if I can tell that we can't collaborate, if I can tell that it won't be fun, I will never again attack. Or if you will rip the rug out from under me when I'm believing that we are about to do this, we're going to start a YouTube channel, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. If I ever believe that you will rip the rug out from under me, that was my Roman empire, because the rug was ripped out from under me. I had dreams and plans and I was right, because now we could have been gazillionaires.
Literally.
Like could have built so many things, couple trips, couple things, like all of these things. And I will never again attach my dreams and goals to a man. No, I'm kidding. Not a man, but I don't. But yeah, well, I would, the vetting process, I'm like, I will never do that again.
Even what I realized, even if you guys follow her at all, she posts a lot with her best friend who called. But even then, y'all are y'all post separately so much too. It's like you're not bound to something. It's like this is like
we're
a
not
great
bound, but we
extra color.
could be. We
You
could be, but
yeah.
we've made the choice. We've made the decision that we want to just be a duo who has like a life, you know, but like something that you look forward to seeing her, but it's not everything.
It's kind of like Chloe and Halle doing an album, and then they have solo projects.
Yes, because before it was just them.
And she doing what's it called? Praise This that you did too.
Oh yeah.
See what I did there?
Yeah, I was impressed.
But that it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And
I think it's healthy for longevity.
100%.
Too, especially when somebody might want to start doing this, somebody wants to start doing that. But when I got cool with Jasmine, I realized like I can dream again with somebody.
That's dope.
Because you're going to crackhead at the same level I crackhead. You're not going to ever rip the rug out from under me. You're never going to be like, no, I don't want to make this video. I can have the craziest idea and you'll do it with me.
That's actually really dope.
And
that's hard to find.
I always wanted that with a man. And I started realizing like, even getting there with her, we didn't start out there. We grew there. And I've dated people who wanted that. They wanted to like kind of immediately be where Jasmine was and how I work with her. And I'm like, no. You're coming in after we've established something. It took us like a while before we were here. Where now we're getting brand deals together, where we're making money together, where we're doing that. That didn't just at all like start. So that's my Roman Empire.
I'm actually gonna take a note down, and that's something I want to ask you in the future for those watching you that are inquiring how you got to where you got. I think it would be encouraging for people to hear that. Let's not go into it right now, but that is something I want to remember to talk to you about because
maybe we should at some point.
Yeah, I was like, I would watch it if I were listening. I'm like, yeah, how did she do that? Okay, let me take my little notes and get on my grind. Okay, so what I do want to do really quick is step back into relationship world. This was a question I was going to ask you earlier because we're gonna give the people what they love. For whatever reason, y'all love it when we sit here and talk about relationship stuff. So we're gonna give you that tenfold. You feel me?
I think we did some really good stuff earlier. I think that was good.
Oh, we did. And granted, we're not experts. We just have experiences. And when I say we, I mean she's a well of knowledge just from a lot of stuff being thrown at her. You feel me? So it's like, why?
I feel like most actors, and I feel like maybe because we have to explore so many characters and we have to like, and I think because we maybe experience so much rejection, we have to find ways to build ourselves up and find ways to be healthy.
You want to know something that somebody told me before I get to the relationship question? This is actually an ex-girlfriend of mine. She literally made a good point. She said, and it stuck with me. She literally was like, you want to know why I love LA so much? Because she was from a southern town, hometown. I'm from a home southern town. And in our areas where we're from, Christians are readily available. Bible Belt, we're used to it. We go to church on Sunday. We go to Bible study on Wednesday. We have potlucks. Like, it's just normal to be a Christian. She was like, the reason I love LA so much is because it forces you, and this is me piggybacking off of you saying, you know, we're uncomfortable as actors and so on and so forth, but it forces you to lean on God. Like, you can get so comfortable in the South. Like, you can get so comfortable being like, this is routine. Church,
just God. No,
but out here, there's so much rejection. You have
to have faith. I was just talking to a man about that. It was like, you have to have more faith because even relying on yourself, you're going to let yourself down. You got to have
rejection, the amount of comparison, the amount of like all these things that are the thief of joy.
Like, you're constantly told you're not enough, you're not it, you're not chosen. Yeah, you have to have something else that you're relying on to feed you.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, sorry. So back to the relationship thing really quick.
Isn't he such a good host? He's so good at this.
I have ADD. You're witnessing it.
He's such a good host.
Look, the topics go all over the place, but that's what you come for here because I'm not going to keep you on no through line. We're going to go where we go.
I love it.
So anyway, what I was going to say earlier. So my buddy, I want to get your opinion on this. My buddy is...
Likes me? Oh, sorry.
You're so stupid. Nobody likes you. Okay, so my buddy is actually in this situation that I want to get your opinion on.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, because I have my opinion, but I want to hear a girl's perspective, a woman's perspective. So he works at a bar. He's a bartender.
Okay.
Great. He also is a new Christian. Like, and I say new being like he's just now starting to go to church. He's just now, like he's actually new to it. Okay. Loves it. Works at a bar. So there's a young lady that he's started seeing, and she said to him, oh, well, you know, our lives don't really match up. I'm not really into dating anybody that's like in that lifestyle, like constantly out at bars. Because, you know, he's there, blah, 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 AKA he's there long hours. and doesn't get off till like 3, 4 in the morning sometimes. But he's around a lot of bottle girls and da-da-da, like the whole thing, which I get. But mind you, he met her at the bar, okay? Like, the reason they know each other is because she was at said bar that he works at. They started talking, and she's frequented the bar. Okay, so that's the foundation. So the question I have is, do you feel like, I'm trying to word this properly, do you feel like you are specific about where you're meeting people? For example, one more example, sometimes I'll say, well, I'm gonna go out to the club. I ain't gonna meet my wife in the club. So people say things like this, right? And I've recently started pushing back against that because I'm like, well, hold on.
I'm at the club.
I'm at the club. It's like, for real. That's literally, you know exactly where I'm going. And I'm like, so she's already discredited him. She has no idea that
she's saying the same thing. She's my husband ain't at this club.
And she's like, and she's telling him, which is admirable because it's like a part of it's admirable because she knows what she's looking for. But at the same time, ma'am, you're at the club and you haven't even checked with me to see where my life is at. You're looking at me being like, oh, he getting lit with his friends. I'm like, you're lit with your friends.
No, it's hypocritical.
Right. So I'm like, so the question is now, is it okay to not put parameters on where you're potentially finding your significant other?
No. I think that you should still put parameters.
Hey,
I think that
why is that?
Because
I'm fascinated.
Because if she is frequenting a bar and stuff, she might need to accept some things about herself. And accept that if you're here often, this is where you go. And there's other people here who are the same thing. So if you're saying now that you want higher, that's fine. You can have whatever standards you want. Then you be there. If you don't want somebody who's at the club often, then you don't be at the club often.
That's a good point. That's kind of like somebody saying like, I want a man who's really fit, and they're not fit. And that's no shade. It can be flipped around. It could be a man being like, I want a woman that got curves like this, da-da-da. And it's like, sir, you don't
get a haircut.
You've been eating Haagen-Dazs for the last
oh my gosh, yes.
48 hours. And you ain't got no fade.
No, you ain't got no fade. What are we talking about?
And she has to have a perfect everything. What? Okay, so I actually like that. That makes sense because he got a little push back on me because I was on his defense where I was like, how's she gonna say that you're not?
It's only because you said that she frequents this place. Like
she's
been
there at least twice.
Okay, if she's been at least twice, is it for like birthdays or is she just?
To me, it
chilling?
don't matter. If you're there, then I could also look at you with same.
But also, then you could also, if just like how she is there, he could also be there. But the reality is,
he works there.
If you don't want to be in that situation, if you don't want somebody who works at a bar, then you also just shouldn't date the guy because it sounds like there's a lot of other things that she's not interested in about that lifestyle. About the fact that he is around other girls, that he just like how he was able to meet her, that it sounds like it's much deeper than just that they met at a club. It sounds like the lifestyle that he is having from working there.
Because she's also a Christian woman, and his takeaway is like, oh, well, she doesn't think I'm good enough for it because he's learning how to process all that. So as his friend, I'm like, no, bro, hold on. No.
Yeah, it's definitely not about being good enough.
Yeah, I was like,
she's not placing herself above him. She might just be like, because the reality is he is going to be there all the time, even if she is just frequenting there. Like, no, so she actually should not have given him the time of day because she knows that like, just because he might be very handsome, that's not what she wants or the lifestyle that that she wants. And it doesn't have to mean that he's involved in doing the things, but he is in the lifestyle of the bar.
Right. But I'm like, dang.
That doesn't mean that he's not enough. It doesn't mean that she thinks that. It just means that that's not what she's looking for, which is completely fine.
That's what I'm
she
saying.
just should not have wasted his time because that is what she did do. She knew ahead of time she didn't want somebody at the bar. He was just cute. And she was like, maybe I could. She should have been a lot more decisive with that decision because now it's put him in a place to wonder and think.
Because that puts me in the position of wondering, where do you find someone? Because I've even done the thing where it's like, well, maybe I didn't meet somebody at church. And it's like, well, hold on. We love church. But the church house is also filled.
Yeah, sometimes people you meet at church.
Man.
Definitely met some people who sing for the Lord where I was like,
Oh, we the freakiest, most because we know we're aware that we need help. That don't mean that we're doing.
But you know a good place. A good place to meet people though, which I have actually seen a few times, is not just in church but in ministry. When you take the next step to go and volunteer, go and get in a small group.
Okay.
You're serious. So that's usually a better place. But also, where do you go? Where do you realistically go? Like, I know I'm dyslexic. I'm not going to be in the library. So I'm not going to go to the library to try to meet a man. So I know that because they say that, like, go to the library to try to meet a man. It's like, I'm not going to do that.
And I'm not.
But what do you like? Like, do you like to hide the frustration? I'm tired of this. It's frustrating.
That's what
But
leads
it's like, do you like to hike? You go hike. Like, and then you could maybe meet your person on a trail.
That's why, now you see why I posed the question, because my brain at this great age is now just in a place of like, I don't think there's a right place. I think there is right people. Ooh, that just brought up another question that I'm gonna have to ask you another time about. I'm gonna write it down. Remember, I'm gonna write 2 questions down. Okay. Anyway, but that puts me in the space of of thinking that I'm like, so really it can be wherever. It's just a matter of the qualities or the attributes of the type of person you're looking for. Because I'm like, who's to say? If I got so many walls up talking about, well, I ain't trying to meet no girl at a yoga club because I don't believe yoga, those positions they be making are sinful. And it's like, okay, fair. If you feel that way, if you don't, okay. But I'm like, she must that sound like a farce. Sorry, I had to just laugh at her. But she may not know that. And that's a simple conversation. I was like, oh.
It's a simple conversation, but also I don't want you then. If you that uptight, I don't want you.
Okay. That part too. So
if you're that way, if you that uptight, it's like.
But I just run into that so much that it's like, I'm looking for.
Not that that's uptight. You can have your opinion. I'm just saying, for me, that would be too much.
100%. Yeah, I guess there is no answer. It's just more of a frustration that I'm like bouncing off of people. You feel me?
Yeah, I think it's more about I think meeting
at
people, because the reality is you can meet somebody in the grocery store. You can meet somebody everywhere. It's about, I think, more being open.
That's true.
And then, because you can go on any date, you can do the things. I think it's about being open and praying and letting God guide you to where he wants you to be.
And let me tell you something.
That's more
Lauren,
what it's about.
She just rounded that out like a boss. It comes back to what? God's timing.
How many people do we see who like, it's like, oh, I met her while I was moving a box outside that one day. I met her. It's like, and they found their soulmate. It's like,
movie
let
messing
God
me up because the movie setup be sounding good. We was boxes and they was working at the company when you was trying to get your last little box. Bruh.
Let God do it. Let God do
Lauren,
it. Yes, friend.
When I say thank you for taking time yet again to support your friend.
Always.
Because Lauren, if y'all didn't hear me say it last season, you're going to hear me say it this season. She, for years, music videos, podcasts, on sets, dinners, she shows up. I feel like that plays a lot. The type of people that you meet at the top are these type of people that are so giving. And it plays to why they're working and around so many great things, because people like being around them. But she shows up for a friend. She's always shown up for me. I thank you so much for being here. And if you're willing to come back for another episode this season, I mean...
Let's do it.
Period. She's going to be back. And we're going to keep talking because I know that you'll probably have a lot of questions for us. And I'm going to just keep asking her good, fun things. But before you go, I got a little game I want to play. It's a quick game. It's a rapid. I know. It's a rapid fire game.
Oh, gosh.
Okay? And it's literally, I call it keep or quit. So you're going to keep something or you're going to quit something.
Okay.
And there's going to be 2 options, and you just got to say which one you're going to keep.
Keep or quit.
Okay? Try not to get canceled. Ready?
Yeah.
Set?
Yeah.
Go. Light skin Aunt Viv, dark skin Aunt Viv.
Keep or quit?
Mm-hmm. Which one you keeping, which one you quitting? You getting rid of one of them, you're keeping one of them.
Oh, that's a hard. Keeping dark skin Aunt Viv. Dark skin Aunt Viv.
Keeping dark skin Aunt Viv. Ready? Usher or Chris Brown? R&B Gold.
Oh.
Usher or Chris Brown?
Oh.
Keep or quit?
Oh my gosh.
5.
Oh,
4.
Usher.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, that was hard.
Yeah. Okay, ready? This one's hard to me. I don't know if it's going to be hard to you. Aaliyah or TLC? R&B classics. Aaliyah or TLC? Don't be acting like it's an easy answer.
TLC.
Over. Honestly, that's a good. I would have done the same reaction for either, to be honest. Okay, but ready? Okay, this is black movie history. Ready? This is like black movie rooted. Which one are you going to choose? Soul Food or Waiting to Exhale? Have you seen either? If not, I can give you 2 other options.
Waiting to Exhale.
Not what I thought she would say.
Waiting to Exhale?
But Soul Food.
Everyone falls.
I know that's true. Waiting to Excel is a classic. I shouldn't have asked. I think as a woman, Waiting to Excel is like a rite of passage.
It
Yeah.
literally.
I should have put Soul Food with like the best man. Soul Food, the best man.
Why would you do that?
Those are like family or like.
Oh, that's okay. Stop. Don't change the question. Keep waiting.
Okay, we'll keep going. We're going. Okay, ready? Thanksgiving or Christmas?
Christmas.
You got 5 more. Okay, if you don't know these are East Coast places, but let's see. Kroger or Publix? Do you know those grocery stores? If not, Ralph's or Fry's?
Kroger.
Kroger. Okay, Ralph's or Fry's?
Ralph's.
Ralph's. Okay, ready? 4 more. This is a man, like that you can tolerate from a man. Okay. Burping or farting? Y'all ain't think she was just a pretty face. People have bowel movements.
Burping. Because the
prefer
farts
burping?
be blowing us up. But you know, farts are funnier.
Yo, I mean,
I went to kiss a guy once and he burped in my mouth.
That's so damn.
I almost did what you hate.
Fair enough. Are you ready? This is a hard. Maybe this will be an interesting one for me to hear your answer to. Broadway or film and TV?
Oh, because it depends on the
For the rest
season.
of your life. Nope.
The
you only
rest
get
of
one.
my life.
If you only got one.
If I only got one for the rest of my life, I'm gonna have to go with TV and film because I've been able to book roles where I got to perform on stage, even in the show.
That's a good
Even
point.
in Praise
You
This.
cheated the system. That's
Yeah,
true.
no, in Praise This, I got to perform in front of a real audience of there were maybe 300 extras in there.
That is pretty much Broadway on
It's
camera.
literally,
yeah, that's true.
it's great.
Dang it, I ain't think of that. You gotta. All right, 2 more. Ready? Now this one, I'm gonna be real with you. This one gonna get you. This one might mess up your algorithm.
Oh, shoot.
No, it won't. I'm talking. Brandy or Jasmine Sullivan? And let me tell you why I didn't say Brandy or Beyonce, because we don't need no beehive interactions.
No, we
but
don't
at the
need
same time, think of riffs, tone. I only like calling it riffs. I call it runs, but whatever. Riffs, tones, and innovation in vocal movement. They both are goats. Brandy or Jasmine Sullivan?
They're both. Oh my gosh.
Do what's right for the people.
Oh my gosh.
There's really no wrong answer, but I
There
know there's a
really
right
is
one.
no wrong answer. I'm gonna have to go. I'm telling you, because what I'm thinking is, okay, here's what I'm thinking.
Mhm.
Brandy is my OG princess,
Mhm.
and she's iconic.
Mhm.
But Jasmine Sullivan singing Home as a child,
Oh, I
that's
don't know how that little baby did that.
I don't know. She
What?
said
That was
how
cool.
are you running like that at what? She was like 11.
11, something, yeah, whatever that age.
That
11 to
is,
12.
I actually to this day have I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
How did you know to make that choice?
No, and she's sitting there
Vocal choice.
just letting it rip.
Okay, which one?
So,
don't be
dang
trying to,
it.
don't be trying to soften your answer. Look.
I'm gonna have to give it to Brandy. Is just our icon.
That's what I would've chose too.
She's
Brandy's
our
just-
icon.
Brandy's just been around longer.
She's been around longer.
Yeah,
Like,
but they both go.
but that was a hard one.
Last one. Now this one is the big one.
Oh gosh.
All right.
Okay.
Now this one is being asked for a very specific reason.
Oh gosh, we should eat hot wings next.
It's actually in line with that kind of. Crab legs or Kool-Aid? Which one?
Crab legs.
Crab legs all day. Hot and juicy, popping it, baby. Yo, shout out to Lauren Lott. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time. Thank y'all. Season 2, we in here, baby.